Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. I'm trying to finish my setup for this call. Give me a second, and then we can start. And also, we maybe give a few minutes to get maybe other people to join. Okay. How's everything? Hopefully, it's all good. Hey, Levi.
Hey, how are you?
Nice to meet you guys. We'll give it another couple of minutes, and then we start. I might have an issue with power today, so when will happen, I will switch to my phone connection. So I'm sorry in advance.
All good.
All right, we can start kicking off. What we're going to talk about today. Today, we're going to talk about Google Ads for e-commerce, pretty much. Google Ads can be used for many different marketing objectives, but obviously we want to make money out of it. And there's a lot of things we can do for our e-commerce store. First of all, Google is the most used search engine in the world. We need to be there if we have a service or products. Doesn't matter what we're trying to promote or sell. We need to be on Google. There's no other way. How we can be on Google, that's a different story. For online stores in particular, Google offer a lot of interesting placements, which are the shopping placements and our classic search results. There's a lot of other channels, a lot of other venues we can actually.
Ready? He said the grid went down where he lives, so perfect timing. Let's see if he comes back on. Yeah, there you are. You're muted. There.
Yeah, that's the power that went off. I'm gonna
What's
turn
going
off
on?
I'm gonna turn off on my video because today is just a bad day. Sorry guys, but I got the power cut all day. Laptop was not being used for a bit, so battery is low. We'll go as fast as we can, right? So Google offer a lot of different venues and placements and channels to advertise our store. What we're going to focus on today is pretty much shopping and a little bit of search. The way it works with Google is that we try to, first of all, obviously we try to provide a great user experience for users when they see our ads, when they land on our website, and we try to follow all this best practice. But also we need to, unfortunately, please Google as much as possible. In terms of the way we set up our products, the content, and the speed of our website, and a few other things. And obviously there's a range of policies to follow in terms of what products can we advertise and products that we can't touch and so on. So it's, first of all, when I set up my clients e-commerce advertising, I try to please Google as much as possible, don't have any issues with policies, website all on point. For example, the footer needs to be full of links explaining our policies, our privacy policies, our TNC, our shipping policies, and so on. So that's the first things to keep in mind. We need to please Google. We need to comply with Google. Okay, let's use different words. Comply, and because any little roadblock in policies or in not following best practice could land us on a suspension, and that would take us weeks and weeks to reestablish our Google Ads or Merchant Center. what we can do to prevent all of this. Yeah, Jason, sorry, but I got battery at really, really minimal level. And I try to conserve power. Sorry about that. Today is just, as I said, it's just a terrible day.
Sure, no problem.
But we keep going. We keep positive. So apart from all these policies and best practice, what we want to try to set up and run are our famous shopping campaigns, and also recently added to Google Ads in the last 2-3 years, performance max campaigns. So what I was trying to introduce on how Google Ads works for online stores is that we try to let's say sync our products, our prices with the Google Merchant Center. So we have another platform, another tool. It's free from Google that allow us to sync our products directly from our website into Merchant Center, which will go through policy checkup and understanding if we are eligible and so on. And then the Google Merchant Center will interact with Google Ads and send the ads online with our campaigns. So our three main component of a working, not successful, just working Google Ads campaigns for e-commerce is the website to be in sync with Google Merchant Center. There's a lot of platforms like Shopify, WooCommerce, even Magento, a bit more custom, that have like automated shopping feed, and there's a lot of apps and plugins that they can really facilitate these for us. And then to upload everything, let's say to sync everything in Merchant Center. And then with Merchant Center is a simple link between that and Google Ads. So yeah, and then at that point, we will be able to actually see our products within the Google Ads campaign. And at that moment, yes, we can start thinking of implementing a strategy. In this case, shopping campaigns, performance max campaign, and so allow us to kind of yeah, display the ads on Google. A really cool thing not a lot of people know, especially an advertiser like me, I would say we all know, but clients oftentimes they think is not a possibility, but we can do a lot of changes on the products, descriptions and titles directly in the Merchant Center. So if, for example, if you want to test different headlines for our shopping ads, and when I say shopping ads, I'm talking about those ads that are pretty much appearing on Google.com search engine with the picture, with the price, with the description. So these are shopping ads, okay? And with Merchant Center, we can actually test and try different headlines, different descriptions to kind of see what people react. Different, a classic A/B test when you want to try to compare apple versus oranges and see which one is better. That's what we can do as well within Merchant Center, which is pretty neat. The first step, let's say, in terms of trying to display and advertise our ads on Google is obviously setting up a shopping campaign. And first step, as I mentioned before, is connecting our Google Ads with our Merchant Center. It's a simple link, click, and that's it. But then, that's when comes in the strategy, what we're gonna do, how many products do we have, and how I'm gonna advertise them all. That's sometimes quite daunting for some clients. But sorry, sometimes I take a sip of coffee. So the strategy, obviously, it's important and needs to be in place before we do anything else. And in this case, I'm going to probably open up one of my account just to show you what does it look like, what a successful strategy look like. And maybe you can sort of visualize a bit better what I'm talking about. Just so you know, I have full permission from clients to display their accounts. So they're happy to, and they're not even in your own sort of target area. So we're all good. by the way, while I'm waiting that everything loads, I'm based in Australia, Perth, and I've been doing Google Ads for now 14 years. Google Ads only, 8 to 10 hours a day, so nothing else. Obviously, I know about tracking and I know about conversion rate optimization, SEO, everything that complement marketing, online marketing, SEM, and so on. So yeah, that's me. I'm gonna open a an account, which is a where's the share button here? More share. It's a gym equipment store. We started many years ago with this client. And we started with one warehouse, one shop in Perth. That's where I live. And now they pretty much all over Australia, you know, East Coast and everywhere. So these are all we started with the Dynamo Fitness WA, and now we pretty much expanded to all Australia. We created one account per state. We don't have 51 states like in US. We only have 5 or 6 plus some territories. So yeah, so it's quite a successful business. They sell gym equipment online and in store at their warehouse, residential and commercial, so a bit of everything. And obviously, they rely mostly on shopping ads. That's what we're discussing. So in this case here, we're looking at the last 30 days. In this case here, well, I went and promote all the products on a strategy that is mostly performance max with search for trying to attract store visits. So some time ago we had a quite neat campaign which was called Smart Search, and not anymore. It's been retired by Google. And that Smart Search would have allowed us to kind of focus a bit more on placement like maps and search to attract pretty much in-store visits. And as an e-commerce, you might have also a physical shop. So that would have been quite handy, but not anymore. So we have to rely on search mostly, and PMax as well. So this strategy is basically every PMax is, as you can see, then my naming policy is quite comprehensive. Every PMax is focusing on specific topics, a specific group of products, not only one product or 1,000. But same strategy you would think of for any other campaigns where you don't want to advertise everything at once. Why? Because if you have 1,000 products and 20 categories, and you might have Pilates, you might have dumbbell, you might have reflex machines, whatever. There's all different products, all different audience, different ad copy, different everything, right? So you want to try to pinpoint the audience that it will most likely to click on your ads and buy your products. So that's why when you think of a strategy for shopping, you think of segmenting. You want to segment your campaigns into topics. You want to segment your products in a way that we're going to try to display these products to the right audience. So as you can see, we got the location. So I try to name campaigns in a way that it's easy for everyone to understand what's in there. So for example, this is a Performance Max. This is a typical icon from the Performance Max campaign. This is displaying in WA, where I live. This is the type of products we have in there, Pilates Reformer. And this is PMax is a shopping only, and this is the type of bidding strategy I'm utilizing to maximize conversion value. So here we're talking about trying to think of a strategy beforehand, set up your strategy in a way that for you it's easy to read, understand, analyze, and make decision after, right? So when you have this kind of setup where you see all your campaigns divided by location. This is different areas of Perth location, divided by type of campaign, PMax or search or even video ads and so on. So that's will allow you to be more productive in a sense that you know what is working, what not. In this case, let's have a look at some numbers here. Keep in mind they have a store, so a lot of sales might happen in stores and not online, especially for big items. So as you can see, the Malaga one is doing quite well. Yeah, all right, actually 230 ROAS. But Malaga as well is where the warehouse is, so I would not be concerned. A lot of sales happen in store, as I mentioned, and and then with this kind of setup, you can see at a glance which campaigns require your attention. Exactly like your business. If you have a business, doesn't matter if you have 1,000 products or 10 products. The way you strategize and set up your shopping campaign will allow you to make better decision after that. The way we set up, I'm just trying to keep track of what we have to talk about. The way we set up our campaigns is pretty much define if we're going to have success or not, if we're going to succeed. The way that I would recommend setting up our shopping or PMAX campaign is trying to understand how our website work and try to, follow the same structure. As I said, segmenting campaigns, try to be also focusing on products that we know we have good margin, products that we know we have high stock. So just trying to think logically, think not with our feelings. Sometimes we just get carried, over too much from feelings and what we want to succeed, but with what the market is looking for. If we have products that are particularly trendy, but maybe we don't have a lot of profit on them, we need to try to suck it up and get some sales in. Hopefully these users can buy other items in our stores and so on. So it's trying to think logically, try to strategize and plan accordingly. The way we can also set up our campaigns, there's different ways in terms of strategy, in terms of targeting. The B strategy, for example, when we're talking about performance max campaigns. So performance max, they're not actually shopping campaign. There are campaigns that can display the ads on the shopping placements, but also on a lot of other channels like search, display, discover, and YouTube. So as you can see, it's not a pure shopping, but it is kind of oftentimes the type of campaign that bring the most revenue. Because again, we're not necessarily going and do a lot of bottom of the funnel kind of traffic, trying to get the traffic from the bottom of the funnel, but also we're trying to do a bit of branding, a bit of awareness, top funnel, people with an interest but not ready to buy. We kind of show our ads, and eventually it works very well. I'm digressing again. We're talking about bid strategy here. The type of bid strategy we have available on PMAX, it's not much. We have the conversion value, so we're trying to focus on pure revenue. So Google will try, based on our audience signals, based on all our settings in our campaign, try to make the most out of it in terms of money value. Okay. And then we have the conversion, the pure conversions, where they're just going to go for the number of sales, not for revenue, number of sales. Which one is recommended? Obviously, we want to make more money, right? So eventually conversion value is often recommended, but sometimes we might go for volumes because volumes might bring more value, more revenue, more. So we could switch to conversions. Okay. We can close this, and that's for PMAX. For shopping, we don't have a shopping campaign which is active. We can go and see a shopping campaign which is being paused. Let's have a look if we can find a shopping campaign. There's a lot of shopping campaign that has been tested and paused. Back in the days, I would have obviously test, as you can see, there's many. I would have run test, and then pause if not successful, or maybe that product is not, in store anymore, and so on. So Google Ads is very dynamic. It's never set and forget or static in a sense. you do whatever you want to do and try and test as much as possible. With the bidding strategy for shopping, shopping was my preferred campaign, obviously before PMax was introduced, because we have the possibility to select our CPC with manual CPC, which is great, right? You can try to manage your expenses a bit better, your clicks, your cost per click. And then, yeah, then Google sort of introduced PMax because PMax is a bit more difficult to manage. So you can guess why Google likes that. And with shopping, we also have a strategy which is quite important when you first start advertising, which is maximize clicks. Maximize clicks. I don't need to really read this bit for you. It's available for everyone, but Google automatically set your bid and try to get you as many clicks as possible within your budget. This is great. When you want to start advertising, you don't know anything about current cost per click. You should a little bit, right? But not necessarily this information are accurate in real time. But this is allowing you to get the most out of your budget in terms of clicks, and then you can analyze what kind of cost per click we are expecting if we change strategy. So that's pretty good. And also we can set a limit for our cost per click. So if we run a small campaign and it's just a test, or we can set a limit of $1 per click. So Google will not give us clicks that are more expensive than $1, pretty much. That's straightforward. And then in terms of a different strategy, we also have target ROAS, which is pretty much similar to the PMax maximize conversion value. But here we need to also define a target ROAS. This is really dangerous for people with no experience in managing campaigns. Why? First of all, before we start utilizing this target ROAS, which is a great strategy, by the way, but before we start using this, we need to make sure we accumulated enough conversions, enough revenue within the campaign, within the account, but within the campaign mostly. And what is enough? It's never enough, right? And data, the more we have, the better. If, for example, we launch this campaign for a month and we accumulated, I'm going to risk it and turn off my video just because I think the battery is lasting, hopefully. Hey guys, I'm back. So if in the first month we accumulated, I don't know, 10 conversions and we sold 4K in products, right? You're thinking, that's great, but there is not enough data for a campaign to start thinking, you know what, I exactly know when to show your ads, what cost per click I should put your ads for, and therefore give you your target ROAS. It's really difficult. What I recommend, at least wait, and I know it sounds high, wait for at least 60 conversions, right? And whatever revenue it is coming from the 60, 50, it's a good number to kind of make sure Google doesn't mess up. If we start this kind of strategy before reaching a good amount of data, and then let's say we have our current ROAS, let's say it's 250, let's say, and we are thinking, you know what, I want to try to get Google to 290 ROAS. The thing is, Google doesn't have enough data. We are increasing our target. We're trying to get a better ROAS without data. And Google most likely will start pretty much not showing the ads anymore because he's realizing he's not going to be able to reach that target. Or even worse, I've seen in both ways, or you go completely 0 clicks out of it, or a few clicks, or just a bunch of clicks, but really, really high cost per click. That's really crazy. So that's when Google doesn't know what to do, and it's trying both ways. It's trying, you know what, I'll try to get you anyone with a really high cost per click and see what happens. And so it is not recommended until you have a good amount of data. Okay, this is for the strategy, bidding strategy for both PMax and shopping. Let's see what's on my list. Budget targeting. Yeah, budget. Well, that budget is always a sticky topic because clients obviously want to sell all of their inventory and spending nothing, right? They want to just not spending much money. There's not really a ideal budget. It's really varies on what niche we're in, what kind of targeting area, if we're in New York or Canada or California or in the middle of nowhere. So it's really difficult to pinpoint what's the right budget. What I know for sure is that with Google, we need to try to be there at all time. That doesn't mean 24/7, but at least displaying the ads on these important hours of the day, which are morning and 8 to 12, where people are at work, people are commuting on buses, on trains, and we can be found by those people that are looking for our stuff. 12 to 3 p.m. as well. It's a good like part of the day in terms of quality of traffic. It's a lot of people on a lunch break. People are searching during these hours, and this is based on data. This is based on historic data across different countries, right? I'm not just making things up. And then obviously, afternoon, it's also a good time of the day. It also depends on our audience targeting, right? If we're targeting housewife, you know when is a good time. 8 to 4 when kids are at school. This is the best time for housewife or people at home, right? If we're selling baking equipment, that's when you want to be there, right? And then obviously after work, evening time, people research, families come together in front of a computer, searching for a fly, searching for a furniture, whatever it is, right? So I'm not being like too silly saying, you know, 8 to 8 is our you know aim target. And then nighttime, you know, try not to focus too much budget on the nighttime kind of thing. So when we try to focus on these part of the days, means that we need budget, right? If our cost per click are, let's say, $2 a click, right? And we know what we know our average cost per click because we can see it from our keyword planner, we can see it from different tools. And I can give you an actual real-time example with the budgeting, right? Yeah, let's have a look. I think the budget bit is important for businesses, so I want to spend a bit more time on it. So we're on the same page. We'll go to United States and let's remove Australia. Let's go with the gym equipment. We were looking at gym equipment just now, and why not? We go home gym, I don't know, just a few keywords to search. Dumbbells, I don't know, whatever. I don't know, something to search and get results. So what we're trying to understand here is, all right, this is the stuff that I want to advertise. I want to look at the volume. I want to look at the projected cost per click. So then we can pretty much identify what could be my budget, right? And we're looking at right now on numbers. Obviously, these numbers are really high for me because in Australia we have only 20 million people living here, and not like US. So, but as you can see, volumes are pretty good. Like wow, right? And then we're gonna look at the top of page bid, low range, and high range. So what that means, top of page bid, low range means, you know, oftentimes we have for search, we got ad number 1, number 2, number 3, sometimes number 4, sometimes, or only 1 and 2, and then at the bottom of the page. Top of page bid, low range means we're not gonna be top, absolute top, but we might be second, third, or bottom, right? So this is the minimum, and there's a maximum where you're gonna be pretty much displaying the ads on the top at all time. Look at the cost per click, it's pretty high. I would say $7 for home gym. We got $20 for gym flooring. All right. And when you look at the average CPC, you're already thinking if competitors are keen to spend that kind of money for a click, means that there's a lot of returns as well. So when we look at the some keywords and we just select some, right? And we might come up with a after selecting some keywords, a total search volume, monthly volume, right? Here we're looking at easy 600,000-700,000 searches per month. Wow, it's pretty, it's big numbers. What, you know, compared to what I'm used to. And every CPC we're looking at is going to, let's say, 6 to 7. Let's not look at this one. That's probably one we want to avoid, unless my client is a lot of gym flooring to sell. So we're looking at, you know, 500,000, 600,000 searches. We got an average CPC of $4. Of these 600,000 searches, I'm expecting, because, you know, we have to make some assumption. I'm expecting to at least get 5% of these users. What is the 5%? That's a click-through rate. So these are basically impressions. So people searching, when people search, boom, there's an impression on your campaign. When people click, boom, there's a click on your campaign. When you have a 600,000 impression and we try to achieve 5% CTR click-through rate, right? That means we can expect at least 30,000 clicks, right? Which is a lot. And we're looking at big numbers here, right? We obviously we would aim also to keywords that are a bit more specific, more high intent, and possibly not necessarily target the whole United States. Anyway, we're looking at this exercise as a way to identify what's our ideal budget based on what we're trying to target. So this is the expected clicks in a month, right? Let's say we're not getting really 30,000. 5% it is not conservative. It's average, but conservative would be 4 or 3%. Let's say we're only expecting 20,000 clicks. But let's stick with 30,000, right? Like that's what we calculated. And obviously for an average CPC of $3, right? It to be up there sometimes not really. Yeah, be conservative. That means for that kind of volume we're looking at, this big volume, that's a budget, right? We're looking at big volumes. I would not recommend going for this type of volume keywords. So dumbbells, for example, is super generic. There's no intention, you know, like it's just don't go for it, right? You go for, you know, home gym is great, still pretty high. So anyway, this is the type of budget in a month we will need to be there at all times, right? As you can see, it's it's pretty high. Again, just for the sake of it, of the exercise, this is kind of a way you find out your expected clicks, expected volume, and expected CPC. Okay. When we don't have that kind of budget, then what we're going to do, right? Yeah, obviously we try to focus on keywords that they are not necessarily high competitive. You can see also the competition column here. You will say high pretty much on every keyword because they are probably possibly really competitive. But and now we discuss an extra bit of our shopping campaigns and setting them up, but also the targeting. If you have some historical data, it's great. Otherwise, we need to try to focus on a geographic target that makes sense to us. If our warehouse is in California, let's not focus on the East Coast, right? Even though maybe it's appealing, there's a lot of people, there's good business, but let's try to focus on where we can maybe deliver our products fast, cheaper, and maybe where we have a little bit of brand sort of presence. So let's say we go California, and then maybe we go for Oregon, Nevada, just some states around our main warehouse. Let's say is in California. We got Nevada. Let's leave it as it is for now, and we can save. Or I'm gonna turn off my video, guys, because my battery is about to die. I'm very sorry about it. Where is my video here? I can't even find my video anymore. Great. All right. I'm sorry about that, but today is just one of these days, really not going well, but we're doing amazingly here. So we changed the geo-targeting a little bit, and as you can see, our volumes are different, much lower expected, and then we can still focus on the keywords that we like and where products we're selling, but without breaking the bank. and then we will select some keywords that we think we want to promote, maybe a bit more kind of high intent. People want to buy stuff, you know, fitness equipment and so on. And then eventually, instead of having a 600,000 type of volume, we go down to possibly maybe 20, 30,000 kind of volume. And you're thinking, oh, okay, maybe, you know, I can do it with 20,000 kind of volume and expect CTR. Let's go. Let's try on a conservative side, I think, which is 4%. And then here, the expected clicks in a month, they could be 800 clicks. You can see now budgets are starting to get a bit more affordable. And then maybe let's stick with an average CPC of maybe $3. And then, yeah, so our monthly budget could be around 2,500, 2,600, that kind of thing. And that could give us a good exposure morning, lunchtime, afternoon, without really, you know, breaking the bank. And run some proper testing, right? 5% battery. Sorry, guys. Let's start with the next topic. We're trying to get to the end. The product feed optimization, right? I mentioned it before that with Merchant Center, we can, I'm going to stop sharing as well, just to save all the battery I can. So what I mentioned before is that with Merchant Center and Google, we can really test headlines and descriptions for our products without really going and changing the website. We don't need a web designer. We don't need anyone. We just go in our Merchant Center and tweak the products in there. And why you want to tweak them? You set up a website, which is amazing, and you spend so much money on these product pages. Like, why do we need to change them? We don't want to change them just because, let's say, I think they're not good quality or the product's titles are not optimized or anything like that. We want to change things to test things. We cannot assume that we know exactly what the users are looking for and what the user resonate the most with, what kind of ad copy they resonate the most. So we need to test at all time. Google Ads is pretty much a perpetual, consistent, never-ending testing of things. Otherwise, what are you going to do? So the product feed optimization, it is really, really important. Like, I would say I would not start a campaign or advertising for a client if their product feed is messy. And when I say product feed, means that maybe the prices are not matching, because you can have some issues with pricing not matching the website, because maybe the client is changing manually some products on the website and not updating the feed. So there's a lot of issues that can arise with the product feed. And so we need to have really high quality content for our products, headline descriptions, titles, and so on. And clearly, it's all about testing. It's all about testing and trying to find that right combination that successfully increase your ROAS. There's the key attributes really to our shopping feeds are the title and description, which I already mentioned. Also, we have the images. So images of our products, again, test. We cannot assume that if you have you're selling apples and you put the images of red apples all the time, you're thinking that this is what our users wants. Just use these pictures. No, we don't know. Let's try the yellow apples. Let's try the green apples. Let's try an apple on a tower. Let's try an apple on a bridge or whatever. Right? You try to mix it up and understand what people like the most. Another key attribute of our shopping feed, which is quite important, is the GTIN. The GTIN is a universal number ID attached to every product out there. When a product is manufactured industrially, or not necessarily on mass scale, but when it's produced by someone, that someone needs to release these GTINs, these IDs, that unique ID will identify only that product, right? If you look at, I don't know, if you look it up, Logitech speakers in a particular brand, that each product type would have a unique GTIN. So Google, when we implement these GTINs in our shopping feed, Google automatically know what products we're talking about without really reading the titles and descriptions. Obviously, we still need to have amazing titles and descriptions to guide Google even more, and also for user experience. But these GTINs identify our products in the most unique way. And the next one, I'm sure you have a question like, what if my products are custom made? We don't have GTINs. Simple as that. So if the products are custom made, you made the products yourself, or someone else made these products, they are not necessarily they don't necessarily have a GTIN for different reasons. That is also fine. We just gonna have a bit more issues in explaining to Google what our products are all about. So that's something that normally the product manufacturer producer is releasing, these GTINs. If not, that's what it is. We can't do much about it. But yeah, so I'm trying to speed it up a little bit because of my battery. And I don't want to leave though abruptly, because I might have I'm not sure how much time I have left. I want to just have the last maybe 5-10 minutes to some questions, if you have any questions. I know I've been talking fast a lot. There's a lot of information, budget, ROAS, and settings, and targeting, and so on. Do you guys have any questions for me, doubts, or anything? Maybe I can go in and have like a bit of a round. Yoshi, I'm gonna call you Yoshi. Do you have any questions? Anything you want to kind of have some more knowledge, or yeah? No? Oh, good. We got Aaron. Aaron, you got anything for me?
Yes, I had a couple of questions. I appreciate you taking as much content as you can out. Even though your battery, I saw when you went on, I saw your battery almost dying. But I was following along. It would have been I was trying to take some notes so that I could implement some of it. But I did have a question in regards to like dynamic tracking, but when it comes to like the conversion value, on how to keep track of like what a conversion value is and who sets the value for it, and if you could narrow it down to just like the value of the sale, for example.
Oh shoot, I think his battery died. Oh man.
He's gone?
He might come back. He said he had power grid issues because he's living abroad right now.
Yeah, I saw his battery was on 0 when he went on.
Oh, grid where he lives is down, so he was using his data for his hotspot on his phone to run this.
I would hate to leave abruptly. Boom, he's gone. All right, well, hopefully he gets back on, and if not, then next time.
If you have any questions, just write it on the group, and you can also DM him, so he'll get back to you personally. So yeah, these calls, it's very crazy. It's not supposed to happen like this, but you can still reach out to him. The calls, your questions don't end on the call. You can still reach out to him via DM on the group, and we're posting it on the community for the public. It's totally up to you. Either way.
Fantastic. Okay, cool.
Alrighty, guys. Sorry about that, and we'll see you on the next one, guys. Thank you so much for joining.